voices whisper, soft as rain. Each one dances in my brain. Am I crazy or just free? Tell me now, what do you see? It's getting crowded in my head. Oh yeah, they laugh, they sing, they paint it red. Am I alright? You tell me please. But I feel fine, just swaying in the breeze. They chat at dawn, they hum at night. Their jokes give me a strange delight. Are they me or someone new? Questions bounce like a kangaroo. Oh, it's getting crowded in my head. Oh yeah, they laugh, they sing, they paint it red. Am I alright? You tell me please. But I feel fine, just swaying in the breeze. Trumpets play a golden sound. They echo deep, they spin around. Voices dance a reggae beat. In my head they find their seat. It's getting crowded in my head. Oh yeah, they laugh, they sing, they paint it red. Am I alright? You tell me please. But I feel fine, just swaying in the breeze. Stay off my lawn, it's not a campsite. No FEMA tents, no late night fights. No refugees, no wild parades. This castle's mine, no renegades. Hit the road, Jack, don't spin me tail. Your liberty's lost like rusty nails. Stay off my lawn, keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong, no fires, no song. Sorry, not sorry, stay off my lawn. Keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong, no fires, no song. Sorry, not sorry, stay off my lawn. Lie, lawn, lawn, lawn. Sorry, not sorry, stay off my lawn, lawn, lawn. Drying laundry on my hedge fence, drawing crowds with your nonsense. This ain't a stage, it's my domain. Take your drama down the lane, pitch a tent where the shadows fall. Not on my grass, not by my wall. No soapbox speeches, no rally calls. This yard's a fortress you can't install. Stay off my lawn, keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong, no fires, no song. Sorry, not sorry, stay off my lawn. Keep it moving, keep it gone. No flags, no biltong, no fires, no song. Sorry, not sorry, stay off my lawn. My lawn, my lawn. Sorry, not
Stay off my lawn, foot sick.
Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello, folks, and welcome back. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025. Welcome back to the program. It's Chris. It's the Colonel live from Central Pennsylvania with my special co-hosts behind me there, Pikachu and Bugger Off Bob, sitting right back there. Welcome to the program. Before I start the program, I like to discuss something here very quickly before we get into the news. And we have a lot of news as usual. But I want to talk about a TikTok video that was forwarded to me about Earl Langdon and his family. And I want to talk about that video. That video was used as a tool to disparage America and disparage the refugee program. Again, for the 1 billionth time, I am not encouraging anyone to come to America. I'm also not discouraging anyone to come to America. That is your personal choice. I don't live in your shoes. That is up to you. I just know that it costs us a lot of money to help people. But hey, we're helping people from all over the world, so why not help South Africans? Anyway. There was a social media content creator very well known in South Africa, not very well liked except by a certain crowd, who made a video and talked about Earl Langdon and disparaged him in that video. And that person went on the attack and went after Earl Langdon. Are you guys hearing me okay? Make sure you can hear me okay. Earl Langdon. Are you okay? Good. Yeah, but I had a software update. Windows rebooted without my permission at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then Streamlabs updated. So sometimes the settings get messed up. So the sound is good. Okay. So I saw that video and I wasn't going to cotton to that. Because number one, what was implied in the video is that, well, the grass isn't greener. You see, these refugees went to America and they disparaged South Africa, which is a lie. That's not true. They talked about their personal experiences. And if their personal experiences bring shame to South Africa, it's because South Africa is a shameful place. So it said that they came to America and the grass isn't greener because she's been diagnosed with cervical cancer. Jay has cervical cancer, stage 2 cervical cancer. And the implication was that the statement was the grass isn't greener, should have stayed in South Africa. And that person related a story about how that person had cancer at some time ago and went in and got screened and their cancer was removed and got free care at a state hospital because that person didn't have medical insurance. So other people carried the load for that person. So that's the same way it works in America. But the person implied that care isn't available in America. And this all came down to the fact that Earl and his family put together a GoFundMe account trying to raise money. I don't understand fully what the GoFundMe is all about. I haven't looked into it. I'm not following it. I just know that this person used that cancer illness in a horrible fashion to disparage that family and to lie about America. So here's the bottom line. I'm going to tell you about a South African family that is going through a crisis. The father has had a heart attack several times in serious condition and needs 500,000 Rand for medical care. Why? Because he's white and they won't give him care at a state hospital. So he has to go to a private hospital and he's paid 500,000. So this person has a GoFundMe account which has virtually no money in it. I've posted the link at the top and I'm going to make a donation here myself live on this broadcast. If you want to donate, that's your prerogative. If you don't want to donate, that's your prerogative. I'm not asking anyone to donate or not donate. I'm simply telling you that the lies spewed by these hateful shrews in South Africa who lie about America, don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, know nothing about America, lying about America. This family is in a worse bind than a family in America. In America, if you go into a hospital, by law, you must be treated in an emergency room. There is no choice. Every medical facility in America, in every state, in every territory, must treat you. And someone else picks up the bill. Now, the argument here, too, is that Jay just came over here a couple months ago, and she has cervical cancer. Why wasn't that diagnosed in South Africa? And by the way, if you say medical screening for refugees doesn't include cancer screenings. That's not something you screen for. That's not normal screening. You don't get a full physical. You get screened for tuberculosis and for infectious disease and things like that. This is a treatment. This is a diagnosis that should have been made in South Africa, and the South African taxpayer should be paying for it. I'm not begrudging their family. I'm just saying that that person crapping all over America and that social media posting, well, the grass isn't always greener. Well, listen here, sweetheart. It's a hell of a lot greener over here, and that's not because we shit on our lawn like you do. Anyway, I'm tired of these people. They have no idea what they're talking about. Wow. Anyway, so let's get to that. If you'd like to donate, I'm going to show you the link to it. The post is there. But let me get to the news stories. Hang on. Where are we at here? There we go. Sorry, I got too many windows open over here. There it is. So the Diager family is the family in question, and I'm going to talk about this here very quickly here. And if you want to help, you're welcome to do that, okay? It's your call, not mine. Not everybody has a resource to help. So Christophe Francois Diager, trying to raise R500,000. And there's his lovely daughters. I've met the whole family. Stage C heart failure, need a fighting chance. I cannot do it without the help of the generosity of the people of the world. I want to live. I want to make another song. I want to see my kids grow up, and I want to hold my wife. I know it's a lot of wants. I hope is all I have. All right, folks. So I'm going to make a donation right now, as long as my credit card's cooperating. All right. So, all right. Let me see. So this person who lies as if you get care in South Africa, we know, I've covered stories about people being denied care. Sorry, folks, I'm doing the donation here, okay? Okay. Okay, remember we did this before and we broke Back a Buddy. This is Back a Buddy. We broke Back a Buddy. Remember that, guys, when we broke Back a Buddy? That was something else. Let me see if I can't do a donation here real quick. Okay, I'm going to need the reading glasses to read these tiny numbers now that my eyesight's going wonky on me here. All right, so at least in the USA she'll get care, right? And in South Africa she will be denied by racist and incompetent doctors in government hospitals if she could even be seen. The fact that she was never diagnosed in South Africa says all you need to know about that. All right, I need a date here for the expiration date. There we go. And the digits. All right, let's see if this works. All right. Hi, folks. I've been quite busy until now. Sorry for that. Welcome, Vincent Dutoy. Good to see you there. My dog bit me and my hand is very bad. I got 4 stitches. Ouch, Ruben. I'm sorry to hear that. Why'd your dog bite you? Redirecting. Okay, that's not a good sign. Never understand. They don't want us here. We're afforded an opportunity to leave, and then they try to badmouth the country offering us a hand. Okay, it didn't work. Try again. I'll try a different card. Hopefully it doesn't make me write all the stuff again. Oh, I got to do the whole thing again. All right, well, that's bullshit. Oh, gosh. The only thing it kept the same was the donation. It didn't, oh, my goodness. This is, oh, my goodness. Idiots. Their website sucks buttermilk. Remember the last time all these people donated? All right, let's try this again. Okay. Okay, doing it now. Let's try this again. Try another card because that didn't play nice. Let's try one that usually works pretty well. So, sorry, folks, but this is important, and I want to get it started. If anybody's already donated, thank you for doing that. It's a good thing I don't talk or read when talk with my lips. People get my credit card numbers. That would be bad news. Somebody would be a very bad actor, I'm sure. All right, let's see if this works. Okay. Time look into the messages shared in the group chat. Which group chat are you talking about? Uh-oh, not a good sign. Redirecting. Success. Okay. All right, cool. All right, got it. Okay, folks. So, yeah, that one worked. Okay. So, Back a Buddy went that time. The first credit card didn't like, I guess. Okay. Let me just save this real quick so I've got a record of it. Okay. And then continue. Okay. Okay, so let's see what happens there. Come on. Why is it not showing all the donations? Frickin' their website blows chunks, man, I swear. Philip says that he thinks I trusted every viewer. Yeah. You keep deluding yourself, buddy. Okay, it doesn't show all donations. Now, there you go. There's a few missings here, so. All right, let me see if it shows all. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so Wyatt Army, there you go. All right, the Wyatt Army's already at it, folks. Here you go. All right, so there you go. $2,000 from me. Somebody said strength, 200 Rand, and Neff gave 200 Rand, and the Wyatt Army gave 200 Rand. There you go, folks. There you go. Side off for Connor. Yeah, too many scammers, too many sob stories. You're 100% correct, but I know this family. I've been with this family. I know the kids, and there's more tragedy to this story that I've shared here that's not appropriate for this campaign. So I'll take them at their word that that's what they need. Okay. I knew already that this man had 3 heart attacks before I ever met him. So it seems like an odd thing for a scam. I appreciate it. You don't want to donate? That's fine. I'm not asking you to. I'm just saying that this one I know about. Okay. Married U.S. citizen. Every time he comes here, he's scared. He's always so worried about us here. Does anyone know how to expedite a spousal visa? No, I know no way to expedite a spousal visa. That system is so broken and so corrupt. I think it all depends on hospital and doctor. I have a work colleague whose child had a car accident last month. No medical aid. It's a government hospital. They were telling us amazing care. Well, that may very well be the case. Leovinia and Stefan Ensberg may very well be the case. But the norm, that's not the norm. So, Henda says the Truth Channel. What are you talking about? Okay, please look into the Sierra Commission. Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about that today a little bit. Fabian will donate his suspension. I think it all depends on the hospital. Okay. Pleasure, and by pleasure I mean absolute misfortune of going to state hospital for surgery, not a great experience. Racism, general disrespect, lack of care. Exactly. I've been ICU with chronic kidney stones numerous times. Have to bribe sweetly with Coca-Cola to be absolutely begging to get attention from nurses. Yep, you're right. Ruben got angry with the dog, and then you had a fight and you lost. The dog bit you. You got what you deserve, man. Marlene Kalitz, hospice nurse here. We have such a high rate and amount of care here is appalling. Barra Hospital, but great. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for what you do in hospice. End of life care is such a dignified thing to do for people. Yeah, we'll never understand. They don't. Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm caught up here. All right, guys. Yeah, so if anyone wants to donate to that campaign, you're welcome to do it. It's up. It's there. Where'd it go? I thought I put it here. Hang on. It must have stayed at the end. I'll keep it at the end if it's still there so we can talk about it. Gosh, I got a lot of news stories up here. Yeah, it's still at the end. So 3,600 Rand. 3,700 Rand. The Wyatt Army says stay strong. Thank you, somebody. Yeah, it's salty cracks time. Not the best time for this campaign. His kids are lovely. 3 daughters. Anyway, born in Joburg. Okay. You die if you went there for treatment. Yeah, no doubt. All right. Private hospitals not any better. Gemini, I don't know about that. Depends. There's some very good care in South Africa. Some great dental care, too. Anyway, back to the expropriation story and on to the news today, folks. On the Monday, the 22nd of September, 2025, the expropriation laws have been used to steal land back in 2019. Cyril Ramaphosa and Ronald Lamola and Fikile Mbalula and the ANC and all of the legacy media have lied to the world and to the South African public, claiming that no land has been expropriated. Land was expropriated without compensation before the law ever came into effect in December of 2024. It happened in 2019, and this case is still not resolved. The company is demanding 30 million Rand, and the answer from Eka Herlini is, we will give you 0 Rand. That's a violation of Section 25 of the South African Constitution, and also a violation of the 1975 Expropriation Act. These are criminals in the Ekurhuleni City Council. The fact that they've stolen this land for 6 years means that they should be charged with a crime of land theft and prosecuted and convicted and sent to prison. You're right, Odin's Vikings. That's what liars do. All right. So, their excuse was that they need it for residents. So when you steal this land from private owners and give it to freeloaders and build houses for them at the expense of the private owners that you stole the land from and other taxpayers, once you've done that, what's to stop another 20,000 dirtbag hangers-on from sliding in from somewhere else? These aren't people that are from Ekurhuleni. There weren't 20,000 people sitting around living in huts 30 years ago. They came there because you offer free shit. Stop offering free shit. Unbelievable. Ronald, I'm glad your cancer's in remission. Man, you South Africans, man, you get a lot of cancer, man. So many cancers in South Africa. It must be something in the water, or the soil's polluted, or it's the Vol Triangle killing you all. I don't know what it is, but man, so much cancer in South Africa. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, growing up, the only person I ever knew in my entire life that had cancer was my mother. I've never anybody in my entire life until I was a major at the War College, and a retired colonel that I worked for was a cancer survivor. And that's it. 2 people in my entire life I've ever met that had cancer. Man. Yeah, the African national cancer affects all. You're right about that. So back in February, Cyril Ramaphosa lied in his State of the Nation address, answering questions in Parliament after the State of the Nation address. He lied to President Trump in May, saying there were no expropriations. There were no land grabs. He reiterates there are no land grabs in South Africa and slams those spreading misinformation. Well, the person spreading misinformation is actually the person spreading disinformation, Cyril Ramaphosa, lying that there is no land expropriation without compensation, when in 2019, contrary to the Constitution, contrary to the 1975 Expropriation Act, the officials of Ekurhuleni confiscated land from BVI 900. Stole their land without compensation. 6 years later, still not resolved. How much income has been lost on that land? How much appreciation? This will be a test case for the Constitutional Court for the immoral and unconstitutional Expropriation Without Compensation Act. That's what this will be. Look, Esmar is another cancer survivor. Good Lord. Yes, Lynette, I've been there. It's tough. Yeah, it's a wild field. They haven't even done anything with it. Exactly. They complained that it was their right to steal it because it had not been developed. Well, they haven't developed it. Yep, Ramaphosa just lied again. Well, Cyril Ramaphosa was interviewed by Newsroom Africa in August, and he said that the magic is lacking. Who's he talking about? Your friend and mine, ladies and gentlemen. You know who I'm talking about. Where's the magic? Where's the magic lacking? The magic is lacking. Who's he talking about? Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy. He's busy kissing up to the ANC. Yeah, destroying the DA. Johnny Boy gets dissed by his buddy pal. Ooh, yeah. Cyril Ramaphosa dumps over John Steenhuisen. When you lie down with dogs, you get fleas. Yep. Here's Johnny. President Cyril Ramaphosa criticized the DA's conduct as an opposition party within the government. Yeah, he admitted to a lack of magic in his relationship with DA leader John Steenhuisen, reflecting tensions in the coalition. The Deal, a book by Mandy Weiner, explores the 2024 negotiations and business pressures and the role of back-channel diplomacy. So there's no magic. There's no magic. Sorry, folks. Hang on. Let me go now live to Cyril and Johnny Boy. That looked like magic to me. That looked like magic to me. Well, cancer can be genetic. It's also environment. Yeah, no bribes. Exactly right. That's where there's no magic. Ooh, baby. Get off my lawn. We can do a little Cyril the Waffle Man. Parktown said today they're going to get a deal with the U.S. Trade Office. Yeah, sure they are. He's very optimistic, probably lying. I see. I also don't trust anyone. I agree with you. Now that the magic is gone. The magic is gone. Yes, indeed. I did speak glowingly about the GNU, believing that we have put together a government entity that is going to take our country forward. And I did firmly believe that we're going to work well together at close range and have the same objectives and all that. Yeah, you thought that all of the people in the government national unity were going to be your servants, your slaves. your yes men. Yes, Massa Ball. Massa Ramaphosa. Yes, Massa. We gonna do it, Massa. We gonna do it. That's right. Ooh, yeah, we's gonna do it. We's gonna do it, Massa Ramaphosa. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We in the DA. Yeah, we gonna do it. What you want us to do? You want us to vote for that? We vote for expropriation. Yeah, we vote for national health insurance. We vote for all that stuff. Yeah, Massa Ramaphosa. Yeah, boss. Come on, boss. Come on, tell me, boss. Who we supposed to vote for, boss? But in the course of time, I've been very disappointed with having to deal with the DA, which has expressly said that it is in government, but is also going to act as an opposition party. And that's been my experience. That has disappointed me. And in many ways, that breaks trust because you sit with people in cabinet, you're dealing with problems together. No, you're not. You're getting rid of Andrew Whitfield on the basis of nothing. On the basis of nothing. One of the few competent people in your government, and you fire him. And all the incompetence remained there. Trust was broken the day that you went behind the DA's back and negotiated to let 8 other parties into your two-party coalition. You broke the rules. You broke the trust, Cyril. You and the corrupt, lying, sycophantic African National Congress. You're the ones did it. Yep. Yes, boss. Shadrach Sabia breaks out the news. Well, he was very close to the cat, according to the commission hearing. The Madlanga Commission continued today with National Police Commissioner Fanny Masemola taking the stand. Masemola told the commission he briefed suspended Police Minister Senzo Mukunu on Lieutenant General Shadrach Sabia's alleged links to the criminals on 16 January. Masemola said the following day, Sabia went rogue and issued a letter disbanding the political killings task team that Masemola had previously vetoed. Interesting. So yesterday we were treated, or Friday we were treated to Mkwanazi, and he had an interesting story. People said he had no evidence. Well, here's evidence. Here's first-person testimony of the actions of the corrupt police. Fanny Masemola is covering his ass by telling the truth, we assume. Fabian, 99, time for a song. Love is in the air. Cyril and John, love is in the air. Love is in the air. The clouds are gathering. Ta-ta. Cyril's still trying to find out where the moral cross is. He's still trying to find out where his head is. I think it's up his rectum. Anyway, I'm just saying. All right, I need something to type that on. Yeah. Love is in the air. Johnny boy. Okay, so there you go. Cyril, love is in the air. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Zimbabwe was the breadbasket. Well, Rhodesia wasn't the breadbasket Africa because the farm production was harmed by what was going on. But Zimbabwe became free was. Genocide is a big word. Helen Zilla's sidestep draws criticism amid Joe Bergmero bid. Do people actually think she was going to lie about what's happening in Gaza? Just because she won't lie, they're not happy? In an interview in Newsroom Africa, the 74-year-old was pressed on her position regarding the escalating crisis, but avoided taking a clear stand on whether Israel's actions amount to genocide. She said, genocide is a very big word, and I haven't been to Gaza, and I don't know. But I certainly know that Hamas has spent all its energy to obliterate the state of Israel. Interesting. Considering a series of events that have happened in the past, such as DA and other white-based organizations, members visiting U.S. Okay, so who is Nontumbela? Who is this idiot? Where's political analyst Siyabonga Ntumbela. Siyabonga Ntumbela, stop with your racist bullshit. The Democratic Alliance for the 75th trillionth time is not a white-based party, you moron. It's not. The majority of its voters are, get this, dipshit, colored. They're colored. I don't know about you, but I'm not colored. Not that I'd mind being colored. Not that there's anything wrong with being colored, but I'm not colored. The majority of voters are colored. Then come the whites, then come blacks. So take your racist bullshit down the road, Mr. Ntumbela, you political analyst, with your bullshit. Your total bullshit. Anyway. Israeli planes seen landing Cape International Town. What's this? Israeli planes seen landing in Cape Town International Airport. A call for Cape of Good Hope Independence. What does the call of Cape of Good Hope Independence have anything to do with the DA? Nothing. The DA has obstructed Cape Independence. You see, this bullshit person hailed as a political analyst, I don't know this guy, but he's clearly either a propagandist or doesn't know his backside from a hole in the ground. The DA has been the major impediment to Cape Independence. The major impediment. I'm not arguing for it. I'm simply stating the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Who promised to have a referendum on Cape Independence, which is allowed under the Constitution? Oh, that would be the DA. They got elected. What did they do? Alan Windbag didn't have a referendum. Alan Windbag has never had a referendum. He lied. They promised. They failed to deliver. The biggest opponent of Cape Independence is the Democratic Alliance. They're the ones stopping it from happening. Now, I'm not saying if the referendum passes that there'll be Cape Independence, but you'll never know unless the DA stops obstructing. Yet Mr. Untumbela goes into the toilet paper of record, the independent line, and lies to you. Or he's just dumb. He's just stupid and uninformed. This is not a refugee discussion. Please ask your questions during refugee conversations or when the news is over. That's inconsiderate. If you want attention, please wait till the end. The DA has no regards for human life. During the 6th Parliament on the motion to cut diplomatic ties to Israel, they voted against the motion. DA leader John Steenhuisen has on many occasions supported genocide of Israel over their actions in the occupied Palestine. Okay, first off, there is no occupied Palestine. There's no such place, except in the minds of leftist hate wankers from the UK, Canada, and I think Australia and Portugal now. All famously leftist governments. There is no Palestine. There's no occupied Palestine. Judea is not Palestine. The West Bank is not the West Bank. It's Judea and Samaria. Learn to read a map. Learn history. Operation Doo-Doo Head is now targeting schools. Yeah. Operation Doo-Doo Head. The Gauteng Education Department called on all organizations to refrain from disrupting schools and the education of pupils. Citizenship or immigration status is not a determining factor in the allocation of school spaces, the Gauteng Education Department said. The department met members of Operation Doo-Doo Head who campaigned in Soweto for schools to prioritize South African pupils over foreign nationals. Well, they're a bunch of scumbag, racist, xenophobic hate wankers, but they have a point. No national citizens, children, should be kept out of school because illegal aliens are in the country. On that point, I agree. But foreign nationals legally in the country have every right to attend school. Criminal alien invaders need to take their ass back to wherever they came from. And on that point, Operation Doo-Doo Head, and I agree. Well, the EFF has laid a criminal complaint against Operation Doo-Doo Head. Wow, the EFF, check this out. Following a tragic health access incident. Gauteng police have confirmed they are investigating a criminal complaint against Operation Doo-Doo Head and its leader, Zandile Dubula, following the death of a 1-year-old child after the mother was prevented from accessing health care. The EFF accused the movement of conducting a barbaric campaign of stopping allegedly illegal foreigners from accessing services. Well, not just allegedly illegal foreigners, they're also racist in stopping white South Africans in Pinetown from getting to clinics and hospitals in South Africa. These racist, xenophobic, scumbag hate wankers at Operation Doo-Doo Head prevented elderly white South Africans from accessing clinics, demanding to see their identification. Footsec, you racist, bigot, xenophobes. Yeah, they chased people away from hospitals and they caused a child to die because they couldn't get care. Yep. The EFF stance is that everyone must be documented and accounted for. The state must have the ability to track every person's movement in the country. No, it doesn't. State doesn't have any right to track your movement whatsoever. No state has the right to track my movement. That's not freedom. That's oppression. That's Big Brother. Entry and exit into the country, the state has a right to control access in and out of the country. But they have no business tracking your movement inside the country. What are these, pass laws? The EFF wants pass laws? These stupid morons in the EFF don't even get the racism and the bullshit that they're trying to bring back. This is what the National Party did with pass laws. That's what they want. Pass laws. Wow. EFF condemns in strongest terms inaction of police who continue to stand by and allow these vigilantes to terrorize patients and staff of state facilities. I agree with that. EFF and I agree on that point. Well, Discovery sees its membership plummets in advance of national health insurance. Slide an affordable medical aid option. Discovery Health says its medical scheme membership has remained generally steady since 2019, but membership in its Key Care Plus medical aid saw more than 18% drop over that time frame. A weak economy means lower-income consumers are opting for cheaper health insurance alternatives. Discovery Health Medical Scheme, which has 58% share of the open medical scheme market, that's a monopoly, has maintained its overall membership numbers despite seeing a decline in its upper end. Well, Discovery. Well, on back of Ramaphosa's DA praise, party welcomes new Khayelitsha members. Look at that. Look at that. The DA's gaining in Khayelitsha, man. That looks like I've been there. DA has welcomed nearly 100 new members in Khayelitsha, citing ANC President Ramaphosa's praise of DA-led municipalities as boost for his party. New DA members in Khayelitsha say service delivery failures pushed them to leave the ANC. Okay. Okay. Hang on a second here. Okay. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, so look, I don't begrudge the DA getting new party members, and I don't disagree with Ramaphosa saying the DA gets things done, but why would people in Khayelitsha join the DA because they're disappointed in service delivery failure? When did the ANC last control Khayelitsha? Gosh, that would be 2006. The DA runs Khayelitsha. It's Cape Town. I'm sorry, I don't mean to rain on your blue machine, Helen, but I mean, look, these newspapers are stupid. I mean, you should ask this question. Hello, excuse me. So I understand that you joined the DA over the failure of service delivery, and you live where in Khayelitsha? Yes, I live in Khayelitsha. Why did you join the DA? Because service delivery sucks around here. Well, you do realize that this area has been governed by the DA since 2006, correct? I don't know. Here's your sign. Wow. Here's your sign, folks. Wow. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make it up. Oof, boy. My goodness. So, the Griquas, the Pumas, and the Cheetahs make an argument for international competition. It isn't going to happen. It isn't going to happen. There's not enough money for this. The Griquas conquer South Africa, and smaller unions make case for international competition. The Griquas, along with the Cheetahs and Pumas, have consistently called on rugby stakeholders to get them participation in international competition. Following his side's 27-25 winner of the Lions in the Currie Cup final, Griquas coach Peter Berg said the smaller unions are hungry for an international competition. Well, I have an idea. Why doesn't the Currie Cup link up with Major League Rugby? Those smaller unions, not the Currie Cup. Those small unions. Do a tournament. Those 3 teams can come to America. And we can send 3 teams to South Africa. And we can have a 6-team tournament. Major League Rugby's 3 best teams and those 3 teams from the Currie Cup. There you go. That's untrue, Charles. You're telling a fairy tale. The Lions played their URC team. Kuhn Horn, Asanabe Nati Labakanya, Chris Smith. They played Springboks. They played their top team. They didn't play any B team. Nice try. And they lost. So, I think they should play against Major League Rugby. Well, Mkunu overstepped his mandate. That's what Masamola says. We have already covered this story. National Police Commissioner General Fane Masamola says the decision by suspended Minister Senzo Mkunu to disband Political Killings Task Team was an encroachment on his mandate. Yep. March 6th, they met to present evidence of the success of the Political Task Team and try to convince him not to disband the team. Did it anyway, even though it wasn't his authority. Well, Trump's new visa policy has people confused from tech companies. The new fees could add millions of dollars in costs for companies and disproportionately hurt startups. No, not really. It will help Americans. U.S. President Trump's new visa fees for foreign workers drew widespread condemnation from technology executives, entrepreneurs, investors across social media, with just a few outliers, and many saw it as a major blow to a sector that contributed millions to his re-election campaign. Well, we are tired of being invaded by foreign nationals, particularly from the subcontinent, who have no business being here. Let them build the subcontinent's tech sector We have plenty of talented people in this country. Stop importing people on slave wages and unemploying American workers. I'm with Trump on this one. Botswana declares a public holiday to celebrate their world relay win. You know, we talked yesterday about how the South African team won the 4x400 bronze medal, and it was impressive in Tokyo. Well, the Americans did win the gold. They got silver. Botswana won the gold, the first African nation ever to win that. Botswana has declared a public holiday to celebrate its team's gold medal in the men's 4x400 relay at the World Athletic Championships in Tokyo to become the first African winners of the event. Colin Kibinishipi, who also won the individual 400 meters, ran a superb last leg to snatch victory in driving rain on Sunday as Botswana edged out the U.S. and South Africa in a thrilling race. Botswana's President Duma Gideon Boko announced the public holiday on September 29th, a day before the country's Independence Day, to honor Kibinishipi and his teammates Bekimpilo Ipi, Letsile Letoboho, and Baya Pondori. I'll be sure to tell everyone Botswana's natural diamonds are not just in the ground, they are also our world champion athletes. After Teboho won Botswana's first Olympic gold medal in 200 meters in Paris last year, his country celebrated victory with a half-day holiday. Well, now they get a full-day holiday. Wow. So isn't that something? So they won 2 gold medals here. Kibinishipi won the 400, and then the team won the 4x400. Wow. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Botswana team. Guinea votes in a referendum that could see a coup leader run for president. Guinea held a long-waited referendum on Sunday on a new constitution that could permit coup leader Mamadi Doumbouya to run for president if he chose to, something he vowed not to do when he seized power in 2021. Yeah, surprise, surprise. With U.S. backing, a defiant Benjamin Netanyahu vows his response to countries that recognize the non-existent fake state of Palestine. With the backing of the United States, the defiant Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed a response to a number of countries recognizing the Palestinian state. At the weekly government meeting on Sunday, Netanyahu said Israel will fight at the UN and other international forums against the slanderous propaganda aimed at us. He vowed the international community will hear from us on this matter in the following days, a possible reference to internal discussions about annexation of the Judea and Samaria provinces. Super typhoon has hit Asia, folks. Ragasa barrels through the northern Philippines, triggering alerts across the region. Pretty scary, this typhoon. Check it out. Strong winds and heavy rain, folks. Look at that. Woo, baby. Typhoons are not fun. They are not fun. Pretty bad looking stuff there. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., not Senior, ordered the Philippines Disaster Response Agency to go in full alert and mobilize all government agencies as super typhoon Ragasa threatened to north of the country and set off storms across East and Southeast Asia. Packing winds of 215 kilometers per hour and gusts up to 295 kilometers, Ragasa made landfall in the Calabian island of Cagayan province. Wow. Not good. That's not fun. Well, U.S. House members make a rare visit to China amid trade discussions and TikTok tensions. President Trump tells reporters that great American patriots are planning to buy the social media app. U.S. lawmakers in China on a rare visit, 2 countries tussle over trade, the ownership of TikTok, and military dynamics in South China Seas. The visit followed a call by the leaders of 2 countries on Friday. 2 leaders spoke by phone, their first call in 3 months, but there was no announcement about the sale of TikTok. But now there has been an announcement. I'm not going to say who, but it's happening. Meanwhile, the All Blacks and the Springboks are trying to destroy the rugby championship because they want more money. Yep, they want to do tours. Is this the end of the rugby championship as we know it, or will the Southern Hemisphere's premier tournament undergo its biggest restructuring since 2012 when it stopped being the Tri-Nations? Amid the most competitive edition of the tournament since Argentina's inclusion, Sanzar officials have locked in discussions that could spell the end of the rugby championship and its predecessor, the Tri-Nations, in what can be viewed as a quick cash grab, but will inevitably change the shape of international rugby in the South for the next decade at least. The All Blacks and Springboks got the proverbial ball rolling when they opened discussions of old-school traditional tours a few years ago, with the first edition set to take place in South Africa next year. The 7-match tour schedule is set to include 3 test matches between old rivals, with a 4th hosted in Europe or the USA, while the All Blacks also play the Bulls, Lions, Sharks, Stormers, and possibly South Africa A2. In 2030, the Boks will return the favor, touring the land of the long white cloud for a similar set of matches, with the Rugby Championship discarded in both those years. Wow. As the greatest rugby rivalry takes center stage. Well, I don't think I like that prospect at all. At all. World Rugby reveals the 15s player and the newcomer of the year. And I tell you, here's my picks. Here are the finalists. All right. For Women's 15 Player of the Year 2012, in partnership with HSB, Sophie de Groot from Canada, Megan Jones from England, and Georgia Miller from New Zealand. My winner, hands down, is Sophie de Groot, who's been amazing. She came back from an ACL injury and after being out for a year, and she's been fantastic. She's scored 55 points for Canada's cause in the World Cup. Yep. She's a goal-kicking forward. For the 15th breakthrough player of the year, Georgia Miller from New Zealand, Josephine Naihamu in Fiji, and Braxton Sorensen McGee. And ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, Braxton Sorensen McGee is my hands-down choice. This young lady at 18 years of age is a phenom. She can kick, she can run, she can pass, and she can blitz her way through the line. I watched her score try after try at this World Cup. Braxton Sorensen McGee, as much as I hate promoting New Zealand's rugby and the Black Ferns and All Blacks, she is the person. She had 9 tries in the World Cup. 9 tries. And if they made it to the final, she'd have more. But they're out. 9 tries. The 18-year-old announced her arrival on the test stage with a bang, scoring twice in New Zealand's Pacific 4 season opener against Australia in May, and hasn't let up since with 12 tries in 8 tests, including 9 of them at the Women's World Cup, comprising 2 hat tricks. Described as elusive and instinctive by Black Ferns director of performance Alan Bunting, she's comfortable at wing and fullback in a back 3 blessed with attacking prowess. Yes, she is the one. Braxton Sorensen McGee, if she doesn't get it, there's something wrong with rugby. My goodness. Well, the Women's Rugby World Cup has set records for attendance, ladies and gentlemen. World Cup ticket sales triple that of the 2022 tournament held in New Zealand. Final set to be the most attended women's match in history, which will beat the match that I went to in Sunderland, which is the largest attended rugby match ever for women. It was 42,000. This one's going to have 82,000 at a sold-out venue. Ticket sales for Women's Rugby World Cup are more than triple the previous tournament in New Zealand. England, the host side, will face Canada in the final Saturday at a long sold-out Twickenham, and figures released on Monday show more than 440,000 tickets have been sold for the competition. That's 100,000 more than their objective, said the tournament's managing director, Sarah Massey. 3 times enough it was sold for the last Women's World Cup. The competition has broken several tennis records, with the final likely to follow suit with a landmark for women's match when more than 80,000 expected at the home of England Rugby. The record stands at 58,000 set in a 2023 Six Nations match between England and France. Well, not for a World Cup game, but women's game. Yep. Fans showing up at stadiums only part of the picture, with a peak of 3.1 million viewers watching England's semifinal against France on BBC One alone. Never mind the streaming. Wow, this has been a knockout year for women's rugby. It's amazing. Congratulations to them. The United States could hit the International Criminal Court members with sanctions. Yes, they're coming after the ICC. The United States is considering imposing sanctions as soon as this week against the entire International Criminal Court, putting the court's day-to-day operations in jeopardy in retaliation for investigations of suspected Israeli war crimes. Washington has already imposed targeted sanctions on several prosecutors and judges of the court, but naming the court itself in the sanctions would be a major escalation. 6 sources with knowledge of the matter, all speaking on condition anonymity to discuss a sensitive diplomatic issue that has not been publicly announced, said a decision on such entity sanctions was expected soon. Wow. This is crazy. The International Criminal Court is the brainchild of the Americans. The Rome Statute was written by American lawyers, and we're not part of it. As the world convulses in war and contentiousness, the leaders convene at the United Nations to bullshit and spew their hatred of the West and call white people racist. World leaders began convening Monday in one of the most volatile moments in the United Nations' 80-year history, and challenges they face are as dire as ever, if not more so. The annual high-level gathering at the UN will bring presidents, prime ministers, and monarchs from 150 to 193 member nations. The Secretary General says it's an opportunity that can't be missed, even the most challenging of moments. Yeah, whatever. Tell us whatever you want to tell us. Wabtec and Kazakhstan sign a $4.2 billion locomotive deal, U.S. Commerce Department says. Locomotive works maker Wabtec has reached a $4.2 billion agreement with Kazakhstan, in which the Pennsylvania headquartered company will provide the Central Asian country with 300 locomotives. The deal will give Kazakhstan's national railway company Evolution Series and locomotive kits over the next decade. Wow. It will support 11,000 jobs in the U.S. Shares for the company were up 4.7% after the announcement. Europe's new cookie law has messed up the internet. Brussels wants to fix it. Yeah, I'll tell you this, folks. Every freaking website I went to, every time I went to a website in the UK, bullshit. You got to approve cookies, disapprove cookies, agree to this, agree to that, consent. It's all bullshit. You should only have to do it one time. These morons in the European Union have overregulated the internet because they're dipshits. And it's ruined the internet. So much time wasted, so many confusing things. Idiots. Idiots. But it's the European Union, what do you expect? German and Swiss jet fighters intercepted Russian fighters over the Baltic Sea, German and Swedish fighters were scrambling to intercept a Russian reconnaissance plane that entered neutral airspace over the Baltic Sea on Sunday. German officials said NATO ordered Germany's Quick Reaction Alert Force to investigate the unidentified aircraft flying without a plan or radio contact. The aircraft turned out to be a Russian IL-20M reconnaissance plane. After visually identifying it, the Bundeswehr handed over the escort to our Swedish NATO partners. What's the problem? The plane was in neutral airspace. So, well, I'm sorry, I'm not defending Russia, but what right does NATO or does Sweden and Germany have to fly over neutral airspace that doesn't belong to any country and tell a country they can't fly there? I mean, that's cheeky, beyond cheeky. No, it's not, Stars and Stripes. It's not even remotely like that in South Africa. There's nothing like what you see, what I saw in the UK, which is you still living by the EU rules. The Prime Minister's decision to recognize the non-existent state of Palestine could lead to the United Kingdom being forced to pay $2 trillion in reparations. Sir Dumbass, Keir Starmer, controversial decision to recognize the state of Palestine could lead to demands for the UK to pay more than $2 trillion in reparations. Sir Dipshit has said the UK will press ahead with the move, which is expected to be announced ahead of his visit to the UN this week, which he already did. It's been condemned by Tory leader Kemi Badenoch for rewarding terrorism, while the U.S. government says it will have disastrous consequences. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, who has a long history of threatening to sue Britain, is demanding reparations in accordance with international law based on the value of the land, which was under British rule between 1917 and 1948. So Mahmoud Abbas, fuck off. Piss off. No one wants to hear your whiny stuff. It wasn't your land. It was stolen from the Jews by the Romans. So footsec. You Arabs, get out. Get out. Britain faces 2 trillion rand in reparation expectations. The man has already divided British politics. Shadow Home Secretary Robert Jenrick dismissed it as ahistorical nonsense and pledged that no taxpayer funds will be used. Reform UK leader Nigel Farage said the recognition was a mistake. Dumb. Well, a glut of very important pigs and heckled ministers see the Palestinian flag raised at London's newest terror center, known as the Palestinian Embassy. Ambassador welcomes historic event with MPs keen to be seen, but minister faces awkward crowd. A flag-raising incident to mark Britain's recognition of the Palestinian state was running a little late at London's newest embassy, over a century late, it might be argued. The formalities have been due to kick off at 11 a.m. Outside had been known as the Palestinian mission in the UK, but there was a problem. Too many VIPs. There were MPs by the dozen to 60 ambassadors, smattering of moderately famous faces. Yes, welcome to London's new terror central, the Palestinian Embassy. The U.S. targets Brazilian Supreme Court Justice's wife with sanctions and will revoke more visas. 6 officials will see their visas revoked following the sentencing of Trump ally Jair Bolsonaro. The United States reported revoking visas for 6 more Brazilian judicial officials, while the U.S. Department of the Treasury has imposed sanctions on the wife of the Supreme Court Justice. In expansion of its sanctions targeting Brazil's judiciary, the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump on Monday imposed sanctions on Viviane Barci de Moraes, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Alexandra de Moraes. Trump's alleged would-be assassin to call his first witness in his trial. Ryan Ruth, the man accused of trying to assassinate then-candidate Donald Trump last year, will call his first witness Monday morning at his federal trial in Fort Pierce and may testify in his own defense. The 59-year-old wackadoodle is representing himself. He's told Judge Eileen Cannon he's considering testifying. That would open him up to cross-examination by U.S. attorneys prosecuting him. Ruth is expected to call 3 witnesses, including a family member and a former Marine sniper who test-fired the Soviet-made rifle found on the scene in September of 2024. He faces 5 charges, including attempted assassination of a major presidential candidate, assaulting a federal officer, possessing a firearm and ammunition as a felon, and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Wow. So we finally hear about that guy, but nothing about Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump hails Charlie Kirk in a shameful display of hero worship. Hails Kirk as a giant of his generation, a speech at a memorial service that went on for 3,000 days. This, everyone glomming on and trying to take advantage of Charlie Kirk's passing, it's really getting obnoxious. It's vomit-inducing at this stage, folks. It's really, really sad to see this sort of stupidity happening. Charlie Kirk was an amazing person, but these people are just taking advantage of it now. Just taking advantage of it. It's really... I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about all of them that were there. Yeah. So, the $100,000 visa. Will it help U.S. workers? Economists aren't so sure. Changes to the H-1B system could benefit some U.S. workers, but economists say losing foreign talent could weaken the overall job market and shift production overseas. Yeah, well. Exactly. They're also making a mockery of Christianity because they're just fake Christians. So many of them got up there and said all their Christian, sorry, it's just not real. Workers born in India accounted for nearly 3/4 of the visas in 2023. Created by Congress in the 1990s, main pathway for the U.S. for highly skilled foreign workers to invade the country. It's long generated controversy with critics intending it gives jobs to foreigners, expensive native workers, which in fact it does. And then they have anchor babies and they stay here. They never go home. Well, the deal for TikTok is on the verge of being completed, folks. Yes, the U.S. government won't have a stake. The U.S.-based joint venture with investors that include Oracle and a private equity firm Silver Lake will take control of the popular short video app TikTok in a proposed deal that a senior White House official said was a compromise that met both U.S. and Chinese law. The new venture will get a copy of TikTok's most valuable asset, its content recommendation algorithm, which will then be retrained on U.S. data. All this is going to save TikTok for 170 million American users. So what? It's a racist scumbag platform that discriminates against conservatives. And its algorithm is bullshit. It intentionally hides content, so I don't really care whether TikTok is saved or not. Well, as I reported after passing through Atlanta, it is confirmed. Atlanta is using facial recognition. Big Brother is watching you. This was scary, absolutely scary. And they're going to try to convince people it's a good thing because the wait times were reduced by 22%. I would say my wait time was reduced by even more than that. It was reduced by half, maybe 3/4, considering there were about 300 people in front of me and I only had to wait about 8 minutes. I'd say my time was dramatically reduced, but I don't want to trade convenience for oversight by the state. This is just crap. Facial recognition? No, I'm sorry. Atlanta Airport now uses facial recognition for U.S. citizens and reduces wait times by 22%. No, thank you. The EPP system works with a simple process. When an American passenger arrives, the Atlanta Airport system automatically captures a picture of their face and compares to the image registered on their passport that is on the database. The process allows to confirm the identity of passengers much faster and precisely, reducing manual paperwork and easing the administration. The first data is clear. According to Clay Thomas, the director in Atlanta, during the first 6 weeks of usage, the waiting time was reduced by 22%. Well, I suppose if they're just looking at the photograph that's on your passport, which you already have, comparing it to that, then it's not so bad. Governors in the United States are pushing for control of the network, the grid. Yes, there's little Josh Shapiro, the criminal himself at large, the man who fails to uphold the rule of law during the 2020 election, or push Larry Krasner out of office. Yes, Freya, riding the coattails of a tragedy for your own benefit is sickening. It is. Governors, that's why I haven't been doing endless Charlie Kirk things. I didn't live stream the funeral or the memorial service. I haven't done lots of content. I've talked about it when it's newsworthy. I reported it when it happened. I've discussed it, but I'm not going on and on about it because it's such a bad look. It's so wrong. Governors of more than a quarter of U.S. states Monday push for greater influence over the country's biggest power grid, PJM interconnection, where electricity prices are surging as demand driven by AI data centers outpace the connections of new supply. This is a crisis of not having enough power, says Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin. This is a crisis in confidence. No, you moron. It's a crisis of you idiots allowing these data centers to be built in our neighborhoods, sucking up all our power, or allowing all these developments to place. Just within a mile of my house, there are like 300 rental units going in, and they've developed a whole new housing unit over here full of immigrants, and they've developed another one 2 miles that way. All of those houses of those 1,000 people coming in here are sucking up our water, sucking up our electricity, sucking up our bandwidth of the internet, and clogging our roads. And they're not needed. We're already being soaked on taxes. Every one of these people move in, they don't lower our taxes. They should be lowered. The amount of money flowing into the school district is sickening. These people ought to be held to account. Sickening the amount of money that they're getting. New York City's fascist Islamist candidate for mayor, Mamdani, withdraws from a town hall over Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. Zohran Mamdani, the Islamist fascist frontrunner of New York City mayor race, dropped out of an upcoming town hall meeting. He cited suspension of Jimmy Kimmel's late-night talk show by ABC under pressure from the Trump administration. Yeah, I'm withdrawing from an ABC town hall that was scheduled to take place this Thursday. I'm withdrawing not as an indictment of the local affiliate or the hardworking journalists, but rather a response to corporate leaders who have put their bottom line ahead of their responsibility to upholding freedom of press. Jimmy Kimmel's not the press. Jimmy Kimmel's an asswipe. Jimmy Kimmel's a moron. He's a dipshit. He's not a journalist. He's not the press. He doesn't appear in a news program. He appears in a dipshit, hate wanker, late night program for people who have insomnia. Jimmy Kimmel's a fool. He's a bigot. He's an asswipe. He's not a press member. So Zohran, dipshit, fascist, Islamist, lunatic, shove it up your pipe and smoke it. Because you know what you're talking about. Jimmy Kimmel is not a member of the press, you dumbass. Varoshka, have a good night. Well, repeating gamma ray bursts are unlike anything other in 50 years, according to astronomers. The orange dot in the center of this image represents a powerful explosion repeated several times over one day. Astronomers are trying to understand what caused a series of gamma ray bursts, the most powerful explosion in the universe. The energetic burst was probably it was an implosion of a star. These energetic bursts typically unleashed by the incendiary death of a star or when it is shredded by a black hole. The observation of repeating bursts has never occurred before, given that the events that produce them are so catastrophic. It's unlike any other seen in 50 years of gamma ray burst observations. Energetic gamma ray bursts typically last milliseconds to minutes, but in this case, the signal repeated 3 times over 24 hours, making them aggregately 100 to 1,000 times longer than most gamma ray bursts. Exact reasons for the bursts are unknown, but astronomers have working theories. Zeroing on what caused them could change the way that astronomers understand the death of stars. Is this event really so rare that we've only seen one of them in 50 years, or is it the tip of the iceberg where we might find many more of them if we look carefully? Because gamma ray bursts come from the catastrophic death of stars, this might really tell us a lot more about some of those extreme ways stars end their lives. Yeah, well, gamma ray bursts is what turned Peter Parker into Spider-Man, isn't it? Or was that turned the Hulk, Bruce Banner into the Hulk? Yeah, anyway, so the most expensive states and the least expensive states, I've got that here. Yeah, it must be the Hulk. There you go. All right, be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done that already, folks, here on this Monday. Thank you for tuning in. We're getting consistently smaller but consistent audiences, and I'm glad to see you guys here. Who's the troll? Who's the troll? Ah. AI's everywhere already. Banking apps, yeah. Data is new currency. Data has always been the currency. The U has the information, rules the world. Bitter Andrew says, who's Jimmy Kimmel? I agree. Who is Jimmy Kimmel? All right, who else left us here? Yeah, I'm talking about the celebrities climbing on Charlie Kirk's tragic death. Good evening, Chris. Unfortunately, I do not agree with you. Please tell the millions of Charlie Kirk followers who are celebrating the man he was. Well, Gordon, you're not listening to what I said. What do you mean you're not agreeing with me? So you think that it's okay for people to use his assassination for their personal gain? That's what I'm talking about. It's a bad look. It's obnoxious. It's bad form. You think that's okay? Well, then we do have a difference of opinion. I think it's wrong for people to use Charlie Kirk's assassination for their personal gain and profit and fame. And that's what's happening. These people aren't real, most of them. A bunch of frauds, a bunch of fakes, simply glomming onto his tragic death. You are not listening to what I said, Gordon. You're hearing what you want to hear. Exactly, and we must make the best of life while we're here. Yeah, you're right, Bevan Amsterdam. Skipple did use iris screening back in the day. Yes, Pablo Charler. Many of them are making mockery of Christianity. Okay, what else we got here? Pablo Charlie doesn't like Howard Lutnick. You think he's useless? I don't think so. He did an amazing job saving a critical segment of the bond market from collapsing and causing global financial chaos. Rather than dismiss Howard Lutnick, Pablo Charlie, maybe you should respect the man for saving, in the aftermath of 9/11, a critical segment of the bond market, which had it collapsed would have caused global financial crisis or collapse. Lutnick is an amazing man who did amazing things to save the global economy, and the fact you don't like him doesn't change that. So I assume you are calling out Ronaldo. Jose also made numerous posts at Charlie Kirk yesterday as well. No, South African, don't try to start some shit. Don't try to start some shit. You're trying to start shit. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't take words out of context and come up with your own bullshit. No. You know what I'm talking about. Gideon says, thanks for the news on the typhoon. We're flying Friday and just wanted a video tracking typhoon. Yeah, no, I hope you don't have to cancel. But those things are bad. You can't fly in that crap, man. That's crazy stuff. I lost one of my games in 2019 World Cup because of Typhoon Hagibis, and that wasn't even a major one. Yep. No. Thank you for articulating what I'm saying there very clearly, Ingrid. You're making my point very clearly. And I'll read what she said. Ingrid said, couldn't agree more with you, Chris. They're making a mockery of Christianity. Celebrate his life, yes, but riding on the coattails of such tragedy is vile. And that's what I'm talking about, riding on the coattails. Talk about Charlie Kirk is not riding on his coattails. Talking about newsworthy things about his death, about the assassin, about those supposedly involved in it who knew about it ahead of time. That's not riding on coattails of tragedy. But the shameless self-promotion that we saw yesterday, and I heard it on the radio. I didn't even have to look at their faces. I heard it driving to pick up my crabs. South African says, I'm not starting anything. I'm asking you a question. What's good for this? You're not understanding my point. If you're not starting anything, South African, you're not understanding my point. Hopefully I've articulated a little bit better. Yes, Alley Cat, Ronaldo covered a lot of the Charlie Kirk stuff on the periphery. That was newsworthy. That's my point. That's legitimate. If it's news, it's news. But this endless, like Fox News, hours and hours and hours of stuff, it's really, it's off-putting, and it's just shameful. It's not respect for the person. It's taking advantage of his legacy. I didn't watch it, Bev. I didn't watch it. I heard it on the radio, and it was just disgusting. I've never met a person who called themselves Christian and wake up the next day as an atheist. I don't know what planet you're on, Pablo Charlie. I've never met anyone like that. It was a reconnaissance plane. You don't understand reconnaissance? That's a spy plane. Krista, that's a spy plane. Reconnaissance. You've heard recce's, right? The term recce's. Those are people that go out and they look. And that's what planes do. They go out and they spy and get information. It's okay to talk about Charlie and his political climate affects speech. It affects all of us. CC, again, it is okay. I've just said that 35 times. By the way, I lost 17 subscribers on the 20th. Let me take a look at that. And let me see what videos I published on the 20th and what did it. So on the 20th, I went from 565 to 548. 17 subscribers on the 20th. Let me look at my content and see which video pissed people off that I lost. I haven't lost. That's the first time in ages I've lost people in a day. So on the 20th, I did the video on Helen Zilla. That's the only. Let me say, did I do a short that day? Let me see if I did a short on the 20th. Nope, I did 2 videos on Helen Zilla, and I lost 17 subscribers. Philip, I'm not talking simply about the events that occurred on Sunday. I'm talking about the endless coverage of it, the hero worship, the veneration of him. I mean, showing videos of him over and over throwing a football 50 yards. What's that got to do? Oh, gotcha, CCS, gotcha. There are so many fake news stories and videos on Facebook about Charlie and Erica. It's so very sad. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at too, Julia. Thank you. Thank you for your membership of 6 months. And that's also what I'm talking about. See, people are just jumping to the defense of Charlie Kirk. I'm not attacking Charlie Kirk. And I'm not attacking content creators. I'm attacking people who are exploiting this. There's a difference. There's a clear difference. Helen is costing me subs. Which Helen is costing me subs? Even activists can't stand. Stand who? Charles says the DA is pretty depressing. I don't know, Sumer, who got upset, but I lost 17. That was let me see, that's the first day I think maybe this year that I actually lost subscribers overall. I mean, you lose subscribers every day, but I think, okay, I lost 4 subscribers on September 14th. That's it. Let me go back 90 days. If I dipped anyone. It looks like that was so far in the last 90 days. Let's go to 120 days. Well, the past year. So this year, let's go to January 1st, 20,533. Every day I went up. Yep, September 14th, I think is the first day this year I lost subscribers. Overall, aggregate. And then I lost 17. I lost 3 that one day, and then just on 20th, I lost 17. People don't like the truth. They don't like my reporting on the DA. Fine. Hit the road, Jack. You don't need to be here. No one's holding your hand. No one's put you in zip ties. Which rant? Siggy, which rant? Which rant? Tell me which rant. There are plenty of rants. Not really. I don't do many rants anymore. 17 says because you're Helen City. Those unsubscribers can go play in traffic. Exactly. Ingrid now also didn't attack the DA. I actually wished her well. It was a pretty good video. It was pretty neutral. It was pretty objective. You think they arrived in the USA? It could be it too. God bless it. I got hair something in my eyeball now. Okay. Yeah, no, Alan, YouTube does it every day, but I don't generally lose subscribers in the aggregate. Every day I usually wind up either the same number or a couple more or a lot more. I have had dips in the past, and that's why I consider giving up the channel, because it's just, what's the point? Could have been DA officials. No, they'll keep watching. Right, Loretta. Some people can't hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. That's the bottom line. Some people don't like the truth. So we had a low yesterday of just 256 views at 8 o'clock. Wow, that's really low. 256, 8 to 9. Whereas from 2 to 3 today, even though it's late, we had 5,200. Wow. 20 times as much. Those arrogant caters and leftists will always go against uncomfortable truth. That's why a failed country is normal for them. Yep, I think you're right. Jared Vestals, welcome to Billy Idol. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. CC says, always tune in for live streams. Your videos are very informative and useful. Well, I think so too. Thank you for that. I appreciate you saying that. Smash the like button, yeah. 17 crossover to Anti-Helen. You should know they're speaking. You should know that you're speaking truth. Some people can. Yeah, no, they do. Anyway, that's life. It kind of caught my attention because I lost 17 subscribers. Like, wow. Because I'm like, didn't I have that number of subscribers a few days ago? How did I get back down to there? Just kind of threw me off. Anyway, let me see if it's arrived yet. Because they don't bother ring the doorbell. They just leave it outside. I need to see if my Amazon screen covers arrived for my new screen on my phone. Let me check my orders. Okay, has it arrived? Delivered. Okay, it's near the front porch, so I have to go get it so I can replace the screen cover. That's cool. That's cool. Cool. All right, here you go, folks. Here's one to inspire the refugees. Alabama Heat, inspired by the Langton family. Don't forget, if you want to contribute.
Alabama heat melts the road to gold.
New faces arrive with stories untold.
The air is thick, but the dreams are wide.
South African hearts
Crossing the tide.
Safe in liberty's embrace, where the stars and stripes find space. Sweat rolls down, but the hope runs deep. Alabama heat. Alabama heat.
Alabama Heat in honor of the Langton family and all the refugees who've come over so far. Yeah, loving that one. I still love that one. You know, I've got so many damn songs on here, I can't keep track of where my songs are at, man. Some of the really cool songs. I've got them downloaded on my computer, but just don't find. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. All right, we're going to wrap up today's show with this one, folks. There were 346 stuck with us. One of my favorites right here, folks. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Don't mind my caterwauling.
The water's rising slow and hot.
The frog's still dreaming in the pot. Whisper secrets in the air. Do you jump or do you dare? Tick tock, the heat won't stop. The lid shakes like it's gonna pop. The pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leap. Take your shot, the pot boils over, like it or not.
Cyril's cards fell just as planned. He dealt the aces, played his hand, but the
Crowds awake, the voice is loud, a restless wave, a roaring crowd. Tick tock, the time runs thin. Boiling point, it's sink or swim. The pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leap. Take your shot, cause the pot boils over, like it or not. Boils over, like it or not. Boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leap. Take your shot, cause the pot boils over, like it or not. Pot boils over. 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 Pot boils over, like it or not. Pot boils over from DJ Silver Eagle, folks. Hope you like that one. Excuse me. Hope you like that one. Reality is things are bad. Reality is things might get worse before it gets better. This is Chris' new exercise routine. Yeah, there you go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's do one more. I'm sorry. We can't leave yet. We still got 300 people here. We haven't chased everybody away just yet. Here we go. You're going to like this one. This is one of my favorite ones too. I built a bot and it went rogue. Reggae time. Reggae. Kingston style.
I built a bot to keep the peace, but it turned into the language police. Said my words were too loud, too long, too wrong, like I was breaking some robot law. It beeped and it booped, said your emojis don't compute. I hit delete, but it rebooted. The bot went wrong, out of control.
Come on, let's push it up to 5,000. Come on, folks. You can help Francois out. Spicy meatball.
Jokes, it flagged my song. Said my metaphors were far too strong. Your tone is off, your chat's too bold. Your sarcasm's breaking the code. It's spoken ones, it's spoken zeros. Said no room here for human heroes. I tried to reason, but it went haywire. Spitting out rules like a rapid fire choir. The bot went wrong. Out of control. It censored my soul. Oh no, oh no. The bot went wrong. No stopping the scroll. Had to pull the plug to save my flow.
That's right, Fleshing. Good thing I didn't sing on this one. The bots went rogue. There you go, folks. But we got another one coming for you now. I'm sorry, I got to do one more. Got to do one more here. You know, I'm going to be out of the area, out in the mountain states here the rest of the week. And so a couple hours behind this time zone here, adjusting to that. But you know, you all love this one. Come on. You know you love this one. You know you love this one. Where's it at? I can't find the damn thing. There it is. There it is. That's not it. Why? Something's not right here. Is this it? Oh, yeah. That's right. Sydney Sweeney. I gave up on Sydney's jeans.
I gave up on denim, thought it was dead. But Sydney's jeans turned my head. Faded blue with a reckless vibe. Like a memory I can't untie. Sydney's jeans so hot, so cool, making old rules feel brand new. I want a pair, I need them now. American Eagle, show me how. Thread so fine, they tell a tale. Every rip's a story, every stitch a sail. She walks the streets, she owns the scene. I'm chasing dreams in Sydney's jeans. They bring the past into the now. I'm sold, I'm hooked, I don't know how. Sydney's jeans so hot, so cool, making old rules feel brand new. I want a pair, I need them now. American Eagle, show me how. Blue waves crashing on my thighs, wearing the stars under open skies. Sydney's vibe is the fire I crave. Denim dreams that can't behave. Sydney's jeans so hot, so cool, making old rules feel brand new. I want a pair, I need them now. American Eagle, show me how. Sydney's jeans so hot, so cool, making old rules feel brand new. I
Oh yeah, DJ Silver Eagles, Sydney's Jeans. So hot, so cool, I want a pair, I need them now. I love that one. I love that one. Sydney's Jeans, so hot, so cool, man. The Penguins have knees. That was fun. We did that one too. Dark Clouds Rising, that didn't come out so well. What do we got here? What else we got? Heart of the Veil, that one's a pretty good one. I like that one. Voices in My Head. We had fun with that. English Pride. All right, folks. Not to exploit Charlie, but this is my Charlie Kirk tribute song. Charlie Stands On.
A voice like thunder broke the sky. He spoke for truth, he dared to try.
With courage burning, bright as flame, Charlie Kirk was more than just a name.
They thought they'd silence what he gave, but free speech doesn't find a grave. Charlie stands on in the hearts of the brave, in the fight for freedom, the road he paved. Though the coward struck, his light won't fade. Charlie stands on in the love he made. Faith in his eyes, a fire inside, for family, for values, he never lied.
The world grows quiet, but echoes stay. In every soul, he led the way.
Gone from sight but never far, he's the whisper in the stars. A warrior fallen yet standing tall, in every voice that answers the call. Charlie stands on in the hearts of the brave, in the fight for freedom, the road he paved. Though the coward struck, his light won't fade. Charlie stands on in the love he made. Charlie stands on. Charlie stands on. Charlie stands on. Charlie stands on in the love he made.
Charlie Stands On, folks. That was the tribute song we put together a while back. So thanks. Yeah, the lyrics are pretty cool. They came out pretty well. Yeah, his passing changed the world in ways that his life had not yet done, but he had done quite a bit when he was here. Yeah, but the hero worship stuff needs to stop. Tribute is great. News reporting is great, but the hero worship, no. Anyway, folks, if anybody can spare a little bit of cash, I'm going to put this back up. We got a few more donations here. Yeah, another 500 Rand, hopes a little bit. So here, this is for the Yeager family. He's got a bad ticker and needs to raise a lot of money for his care in South Africa. Stage C heart failure. 4,900 Rand now. So we've got a number of folks who've donated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 donations since we started here. Yeah, Tim McGraw would really sing that. Unfortunately, he's a turd. Tim McGraw. I think we could do better than Tim McGraw. Yeah. I'll bet you that Steve Hoffmeyer could sing that song really well. Yep, I bet he could. wear a DA shirt tomorrow. Why? So I can get 17 subscribers back. I don't think that's going to happen. I have a DA shirt. One of my friends who's a DA counselor in Joburg gave it to me. Yep. Anyway, guys, so it's that time. I'll be on later tonight for Night Owls, 11 Eastern Standard, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, Pacific 8. So, and 5 a.m. in the UK, or in South Africa, which would be 4 a.m. in the UK for those who want to tune in for the morning program, all right? Oh, 14 donations. Let me see. Well, that's cool. Let's see where we're at now. Thank you for that, guys. I do appreciate it. I'm not trying to guilt you. We hit 5,000. I want to hit 5,000 before we left. Thank you for that. So there you go. Hit 5,000. Thanks. Heinz, I don't know if he'd sing that. Wow. Wow. Wow, I don't know. I could ask him that. I wonder. I just shown the page again. There it is, Spice Meatball. Oh, well, it's the link is at the top. It's pinned at the top of the chat. There you go. 5,000 Rand. It's up there, so yeah. Please do not read. You have no subs left. What are you talking about, Liesel? Oh, you mean EFF? Yep. Anyway, so there you go. 5,000 Rand. Thanks for that, guys. That's a good start. We got something going there. So cool beans. Thank you for that. That is a great idea. I'm going to reach out to Heinz and ask him if it's something he would sing, if he would do it. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I'm going to send it to him now. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So that's really awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, guys. That's a really good idea. Okay, cool. Man, I hadn't even thought about that. Heinz would be perfect because he's a Christian. Yeah, that is perfect if Heinz would do it. That would be incredible. Wow. Okay, guys, have a good night. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you later on. Thanks for being here. Cheers, and be well. Go well. Yep, see you at 5 a.m. El Murray. Cheers, everybody. I'm going to get a little break here. It's been a long few days. All right, cheers.